Welcome back to the Say You podcast, where you get to listen to unlimited range of stories. And today, I'm going to do a very different episode, which is gonna be solo. And I am so happy to do this one because it's been, it took me forever to kind of finish it, but I wanted to put it out there, but I just didn't feel like it was the right time. But we're going to be breaking down. We're talking about a video from Trevor Noah, a comedian, my favorite for sure. He's one of them because he does comedy about languages and I love languages, and so many other things, right? So yeah, he is my favorite really. So before we get into it, let's look at the video, listen to it, watch it, and then we can break it down together.
Saddens me the most about the world we live in is that we oftentimes don't have the luxury to process the whys. We know that things happen, we feel the things happening to us, but oftentimes we don't make the time or we don't have the time to process the why. Why were we so angry? Why did we fight each other so much? We had no compassion for each other. We were the worst of ourselves. And if you ask me, it's because we were scared. As humans, we've become so comfortable knowing that we forget how uncertain life is. We get taught every single day that we know. We get comfortable knowing. So you think you'll always know. What's the traffic going to be like? You know. What's the weather going to be like? You know. Oh, it'll rain on Thursday. Understand what a magic trick that is? If you had that technology 500 years ago, you're like, oh, it'll rain on Thursday. People would be like, we take that for granted, but it's also made us forget that life is uncertain. We don't know. The pandemic showed it. It's supposed to. I think the thing that we didn't take a moment to think about is the why. Why were we so angry? Why were we so frustrated? It wasn't because of movies. It wasn't because we couldn't go out to parties. It wasn't because we couldn't go to the mall. It's because we lost each other. I lost you. You lost me. We lost this. That's the real thing people were frustrated about.
So, first of all, Trevor Noah says that we know that things happen, right? And we can feel things happening, we can see it happening, right? But oftentimes we don't have time to kind of break down the process or the how. We don't make the time to kind of say, why did this happen or why did something happen, right? And this is so real that I am actually one of the people who really never take the time to process why things happened in their lives. And the reason why that is, at least what I think, is because I feel like if something happened and it's done, right, I can just walk past it. I can just say, that's it, it's done, right? Let's move forward. And that's great. That's not bad. That's not anything that anyone wouldn't do, but I think where everything to do is when we start focusing on the next and the next and the next and never sit down and really break down some situations, because some of them make us, others break us, right? When Trevor Noah says that we become so comfortable knowing, so we think we always know, I'm like, wait a minute now, right? Because that felt like a punch. Right, it's like they punched me in the throat. Simply because, let me just give you a bit of perspective and background. For years and years, I've been, at least I say, I had so much luck, right? So at times I'll call it delusional, right? A delusional luck, but it felt like I was able to predict and know whatever that was going to happen in the next phase of my life at any time, right? And that kind of took away the ability to be able to question why, right? I got so comfortable in this situation. And really, it's not like, it's very human, right? It's very human. But then, now I sit down, I'm like, maybe I was so young, right? Maybe I knew what was going to happen for real, right? I knew that that's what was going to happen. And maybe I was just being human, right? It's part of it, right? But then when time came, this is what used to happen, right, over the years, right? But when time came and things were not going, upwards, and they were going south side for me, and I had nothing in control, right? Absolutely nothing. That one time I had nothing in control. Even the things that I used to control before, or the things that maybe felt like I had control, it wasn't really the case, right? So that was like really, really hard. But because I had been able to control my shape for years, it came with so much anger, right? I'm not able to do what I used to be able to, the things I used to convey, And just like Trevor said in this video, right? I hated everyone. I had no compassion for nobody. Right? I disliked everything. Literally almost hated myself. I didn't get that chance because hating yourself is very bad. I don't want to go there. But I almost did, right? But this time it wasn't a delusional luck, but I was lucky, right? I was lucky this time. Through series of events, I sat down and, kind of thought about, reflected. I did have the time at the time. I did reflect on why things have happened. Why am I so angry? Why am I so, everything that Trevor Noah described there. Why am I so isolated? Why don't I want anybody? Why is the compassion that I had no longer there, right? To me, at first, it felt like, yeah, I know that tomorrow it's gonna be like this. Tomorrow it's not gonna go well, so I'm gonna expect disappointment, right? But when I realized, when I did the analysis and looked at the whys and reflected, I realized that the reason why I wasn't bothered, or the reason why I was so calm and stayed comfortable, it is not because I actually knew, right? But it's because I had people, I had friends, I had family, right? And when things went south side, it was not because I was in a desert without water, without food, or was I a slave in there and being beaten, or right? But it was more that the situations, right, took me so far from my friends, my people, my family, right? And through that's how you lose yourself, right? So it's not that it's too much to deal with when these things happen, but it's more of you lose the people around you, right? I'll get into this, right? And during that reflection or moment, or right, I learned that the beauty of life is uncertainty, and Trevor Noah says that in that video. But as much as the beauty of it is uncertainty, when you lose company, right, when you lose the people that you've been in the journey with, that's how you lose everything, right? When you don't have that one person to count in, right? That one person to tell you a stupid story that will make you forget about the things that you we're hunting your brain and mind, right? When you have that one problem, that one person that will drag you to the gym, that will hold that punching bag for you, and then you throw all the frustration on it. When when you lose that one person that will be taking you to church to pray, will be taking you to watch nature together and just have a quiet moment, when you lose that, that's when everything start feeling like it's gone, right? But it's not because now right, at first we say it's not because we knew that things were going to happen, right? But it's simply because we lost the people, the beacon of light and paragons of love that we had around us. When we lose that, then you have nothing to hold on to, right? You isolated, you have nothing to hold on to. Trevor said that during the pandemic, it's not because we couldn't go to the movies, not because we couldn't watch anything, right? But it's because we lost each other. We couldn't see. like phones are great in this era of technology, but the ability to talk to somebody when you're looking at them eye to eye, right, is just magical. It comes with its own magic that phones will never be able to replace, right? So when you lose yourself, right, it's when you have lost these people, right? When you have lost those around you. Because when you say you know what's going to happen tomorrow, it's not because you know, but it's simply because even though things are not going for you, you still have somebody to hold on to. You still have somebody to tell you tomorrow woke up and will still be alive, right? And will still keep going, right? You see, it's like you see an example and then you follow it unconsciously, right? If that makes any sense. So if you are listening, sit down, meditate, and process the whys. It doesn't matter how far you go back in the past to process the whys from hundreds of years ago, right? But can you do it, right? The most important thing is, can you do it? You might have dark times that you want to go through their whys, right? But you feel like, nah, this is too dark for me, right? But this is what I want to tell you. What I want to tell you is, it's never too dark to find light, right? Go look for it. Find that light and extract that very light. Don't, right? The light. Let your mind focus on the light instead of focusing on the dark part, right? And then you can be able to bring that light at home, and you can be able to, just see things change because now you have processed the why. Yeah, siyabonga to Baba Trevor, siyabonga Baba Trevor Noah, because he gave us the topic to talk about, right? Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.